Welcome back to another reading of the Mahabharata by Kamala Subramaniam. Chapter 24. The Pandavas sent to Varanavata. A few days had passed since Kanika and Dhritarashtra had their little meeting. The king sent for Yudhishthira and said, I have been told that the city called Varanavata is very beautiful. Why don't you all go there and spend some time happily in that beautiful city? After a year or so, you can come back to Hastinapura. What do you say? He thought that the guileless prince would not see the reason behind this sudden suggestion. Yudhishthira, however, saw through the whole thing. He knew that the intentions of the king were not kind, but he realized his own helplessness. He said, I will do what you wish. He told all the elders, Bhishma, Drona, Vidura and others, I have been asked by my uncle, or rather I have been commanded by my uncle, to spend a few months at Varanavata. Please bless us and wish us well. He added, when we were young, our father died. We were brought to you, and you are to us father, mother, and well-wisher. I ask of you to treat us with the affection due to us. We are the children who trust you implicitly. Yudhishthira addressed his grandfather. You, our grandfather, can see how much affection our uncle has towards us. He wants us to spend some time in Varanavata, the shrine of the great Shankara, who destroyed the sinful Tripura. Indeed, we are fortunate in our father who thinks only of our welfare. This speech, steeped in sarcasm, must have touched the heart of Bhishma, who said he himself was very much at home in sarcasm. But as Duryodhana said, he was indifferent. He could easily have interfered. He could have stopped this exile of the Pandavas, but he did not. Since he did not guess the sinfulness of Dhritarashtra, he could not have dreamed that he would go to such an extreme. The arrogance of Duryodhana had not yet reached the stage when he openly defied his elders, nor was Dhritarashtra fully revealed to his uncle. Bhishma could not guess the evil intentions of the Kauravas. Poor Yudhishthira saw that Bhishma could not be made to guess what he was trying to tell him. He realized that he was helpless. He made preparations to leave for Varanavata. He knew that something had been planned by his uncle, but he could not guess the exact form in which danger awaited them at Varanavata. As soon as they heard that the Pandavas had agreed to go to Varanavata, Duryodhana and his uncle Shakuni decided to finalize the plot. Duryodhana sent for Purochana, one of the ministers in his father's court. He spoke to him alone, making sure that they were not overheard. He took the right hand of Purochana in his and said, all this world with her riches is mine. You are as dear to me and near to me as my father. You can share this kingdom with me now. You are no stranger to me or my thoughts. It is up to you to help me in my hour of need. You know that the Pandavas have been asked to go to Varanavata by my father. I want you to leave today immediately for Varanavata in a chariot drawn by the fastest of steeds. You must travel faster than the mind. In Varanavata, you must build a palace for the Pandavas. You must equip it with the richest articles. You must make it a fit place for the dwelling of princes. But remember, the house must be built of highly inflammable material like lac and wax. You must store pots of oil and ghee in several of the apartments. The house must be ready by the time they reach the city. You must perfume it in such a way that people may not suspect the real building material used. Then, you must approach the Pandavas with great humility and ask them to live in that house. You must tell them that my father had this house built specially for their comfortable stay in Varanavata. You must win their confidence. When they have lived in that house for some time, when you're sure that they are unsuspecting. You must set fire to the house. The fire should look as though it had been started accidentally. People must not suspect. I want this to happen successfully. I do not want this plot to fall. This is my only chance of getting rid of those hated cousins of mine without anyone suspecting that I had a hand in their destruction. I depend on you entirely. Purochana assured him that his wishes would be carried out to the letter. He hurried to the city of Varanavata and began the construction of the dreadful house of lac. It was built on a very elaborate scale. Dhritarashtra had asked the Pandavas to go to Varanavata for a year. The news spread like wildfire. The people were all unhappy. There were some who were bold enough to express their opinion. They approached Yudhishthira and said, "This blind king is not good in his intentions. Why should you listen to him if he tries to do you harm? Please, do not go to Varanavata. It will cause you unhappiness, or something more terrible than just this unhappiness. Dhritarashtra doesn't like you or your brothers. It is very unfortunate that Bhishma is blind enough to allow this injustice without paying attention to it. We beseech you, do not go to Varanavata." Yudhishthira pacified them with the words, "It has always been my rule, which I have set up for myself, never to refuse to do anything that my elders ask me to do. Fatherless as we are, Dhritarashtra is our father. It is my duty to obey him. You must all bless us and send us to Varanavata." With tears in their eyes, the citizens walked part of the way with the Pandavas and bade them farewell. Almost all the citizens had gone away. Vidura walked some distance with the Pandavas. He wanted to speak words of warning to Yudhishthira. He said, "Yudhishthira, you are righteous. You are also intelligent. You must learn how to protect yourselves from danger. There are weapons more deadly and dangerous than swords and arrows. Even during the terrible days of winter, the rat knows how to protect himself by digging a hole. An intelligent man knows how to protect himself even if no way is apparent. Against fire, a weapon more dreadful than the sword, a man should protect himself as the rat does." The way is clear after that. The stars are always there to show you the way. If you have your senses alert, nothing can hurt you. Vidura spoke these words in Mlecha Bhasha, a dialect known to very few people. The unfortunate Prince Yudhishthira bent his head down, acknowledging the words, and passed on towards Varanavata. Yudhishthira had a long way to go, and Vidura felt as though a load had been lifted off his mind. He bade them adieu and went home. On the way, Kunti asked Yudhishthira, "What was Vidura telling you?" He did not want the people to know about it. That is why he used that strange dialect. If it is not a secret, tell me what he told you. Yudhishthira said, "He warned me against fire and poison." I think he meant fire. He also told me that my path would be clear with the help of the stars. I told him that I understood. From what he intended, I gather there is danger awaiting us at Varanavata. My noble cousins and their equally noble father, they are not fighters in the open. Evidently, they are going to use treachery. Let us wait and see. There's always uncle to protect us. They traveled for 8 days. On the 8th day, they reached Varanavata, the city which does not belong to anyone but Lord Shankara. With that, we come to the end of chapter 24. The Pandavas sent to Varanavata. More like this later on Storytime with Rajesh. This is me, Rajesh, signing off. Take care. Ciao.